People say to me, did you watch all the zombie films? No. I had already seen the zombie films when I was a little kid. That was already in there. I wanted this to be real because I never thought it would get published. You know, look, the point is when you write something to be published, a lot of people think, well, what's going to work with you guys? So they build in drama. And it may not be the most realistic, but it's all right. You know, there's a story. I wanted to go hyper real. Because I wrote it just for me. I thought, what if there was a real zombie outbreak? You know, this is not Resident Evil. There's not going to be random weapons and ammo scattered everywhere. You know, I can't fly a helicopter. There's not going to be like little health pills. You know, it's not that way. So I thought, real life. So I hit the books. And, which is ironic. I mean, a dyslexic kid doing this kind of stuff, it's kind of like a sickly kid growing up to become a professional athlete. Like, that's what I do for a living now, is I do homework. And I wanted it to be real. And some of it is book learning, some of it is interviews with people who actually do stuff, like World War Z. If you look at the back of the acknowledgments, I mean, there's like a page of interviews that I did. The irony is it's a book of interviews with fake people. I had to do real interviews with fake interviews. But some stuff is based on real life. Like in Zombie Survival Guide, when I talk about water. Before you were born, there was a time called 1990. I was a freshman in college, and I was in Army ROTC. And some of my kids are college friends are wandering around out there. They'll remember my shaved head and camos. And what we learned, the first thing they teach you is water. Drink water, drink water, drink water, because dehydration will kill you a hell of a lot faster than an Iraqi bullet. That's what they kept saying. Actually, no, back then it was either an Iraqi or a Russian, because Ivan was still Ivan. And I remember we had a guy, he was 7 feet tall, as he was to me. Massive, powerful athlete, one of those guys that you're just like, oh, he should be a soldier. Well, we were at what's called a field training exercise in Camp Pendleton. He got taken out by dehydration. They had to carry him out. I mean, big, massive guy, nobody's gonna take him down. He just didn't drink enough water. Bam! And so that dehydration, okay, researching how much water do you need, clean water, oh, right. My research is so meticulous that I get in a lot of arguments with people who are not even zombie fans. The gun nuts hate me. Now, you wouldn't understand this living in San Francisco, but the rest of the country loves guns. And they get real prickly when you go pissing on their favorite firearms. All right? Because at one point, those who haven't read Zombie Survival Guide, I have chosen, I said, if you must use an assault rifle, which shows I'm American, it's even an option. If you must, choose a member of the AK-47 family. And people come up to me and they say, well, don't you know, first of all, you're a communist. Okay. Second of all, don't you understand that the M16 is more accurate at longer range? And I say to them, yes it is. Who cares? If the zombie's that far away, walk away. And I have to back up my arguments with facts. I have to do my homework. I have to say, yes, the M16 A2 will jam one every several hundred rounds. The AK-47 or the AK-74 will jam every several thousand rounds. That comes from the United States Army. I did not make that up. The new M16 version, the M4, the one that's in Iraq and Afghanistan, it's much better. However, there was recently a test done 2 years ago where they compared it to every other carbine in the world. M4, dead last. So when I talk to people, yeah, you're like, oh my God. Why? Good question. The M16, brought to you by the same people that brought you the B-1 bomber that spent the entire Gulf War sitting on the ground. Yay, tax money! So that's what I mean when I have to really know my research. For example, in World War Z, I'm a history nerd, like I said before, I'm anything else. And therefore, everything in World War Z has to be based, in my mind, on something that really happened. I didn't pull anything out of my ass, folks. Everything in there has happened without zombies. So if people come to me and say, well, that would never happen, I go, well, it already has. A lot of people outside this city criticize me over what's called the Battle of the Yonkers. They say, well, that would never happen because firepower and guns and firepower. Dun, dun, dun. And I say, yes, we have a lot of firepower. However, it does not always win the war. If you doubt it, go down to a place in Southern California called Little Saigon and ask all those people, hey, did our firepower win? And you'll get an interesting reaction. And I based the actual battle on a real battle called East Lanawana, which happened in the latter part of the 19th century in a place called South Africa, where the cream of Queen Victoria's army, back then, the best in the world, a hell of a lot better than us. You know, they were the Yojos of their time. The Martini Henry 50 caliber rifle, best in the world. Cannons, rockets, horses, steel. On the other side, Zulus in their underpants with soft iron spears and shields made out of cow skin. 800 British troops camped at the base of the mountain. 800 British troops died. Every single one was massacred. So much for firepower. So that's what I mean when I say I have to do my homework, because I have to be able to defend everything I do. Anyone else? Way back, yes, you.
For World War C, which story do you most identify with? How do you think you would react to the zombie attack? Which of those stories were first?
There's a two-part question. Which story do I most identify with? I mean, I kind of identify with all of them because, like I said, they're all based on real people. You know the story of the fake drug that was given out? Well, that was based on several real facts. First real fact, that his defense, his personality, of that sort of businessman saying like, well, I didn't break any laws, which a lot of businessmen do. That was a real argument I had with someone defending Enron at the time. It's like, they didn't break any laws. And that's what businessmen will always say. Like, we didn't put a gun to their head. We just, you know, what do we do? So that's where I took it. Now, the idea of a fake drug was based on several real things. Basically how South Africa has dealt with AIDS. In the Toronto Health Expo, I think it was a few years ago, the South African exhibition had a cure or a preventative measure for AIDS. You know what it was? Garlic and beetroot. It was a healthy diet and exercise and clean living will protect you from AIDS. And this is the government, all right? This isn't some crazy right-winger, Glenn Beck, who you know, just pulls out facts and tries to make money. These are the people that they voted in to protect them. So that's where I got that. Everybody in that story comes from somewhere. The government official who says, oh, you know, you do what you can do, but how much can you do? And, you know, police always complain that they don't have enough, and armies always say they don't have enough. Based on a real conversation with someone in the military, worked in the Pentagon when it was attacked on 9/11. A friend of mine said that about our troops in Iraq. Oh, our troops always have enough armor. They're fine. That's a PR disaster. That's all it is. Okay, don't see you over in Iraq. So I kind of identify with all of them. I want everybody to have something to say. How would I do in a zombie outbreak? Well, no one would get there. You know, you never know how you're going to do it until something actually happens. And then you go, wow, I did really well. Or, wow, I sure hope I can forget what happened.